as far as the defense goes, we're bringing Bud back on the franchise tag for at least one more year. The loss is Javon Hargrave, and I don't want to downplay that loss. I think that he is a phenomenal football player. But when Tuitt's healthy and you got him and Hayward, he's a guy that played, maybe 60% of the snaps in a game, and you can't pay $13 million a season for that. Not that the Steelers could have anyway financially, but even if they could, I'm not sure that with the role that he plays, I would have wanted them to do it. But yeah, I love this defense. I think that it's fair to say, they're not going to get 38 takeaways again. You could see a little bit of regression there. But they're 3 straight years now that they've been at the top of the league in sacks. So I don't think that that's going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, getting Tuitt back for hopefully a full season could even add more to that. So I love this defense, and the offense, they got to be, if they're league average, this is a playoff team.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you look at the numbers, they've been up everywhere, which, again, I don't understand how people like Coward can say it, because you look at the numbers, the Steelers' offense was like 30th, 31st, 29th, 30th, and all the categories. And they're still 8-8. They're 8-5 at one point. 8-5 with that team. That's unbelievable. I mean, they crapped the bed down the stretch, and that's a problem. December football hasn't been kind to us the last couple of years. But so you got to fix that. But I'm with you, man. I mean, you'd rather, when you're talking about Hargrave as compared to Bud Dupree, you'd rather give Bud Dupree that kind of money, because he's the one coming off the edge. He's the one that's playing every down. He's the one that's wreaking the most havoc in terms of getting after the quarterback, creating turnovers now. So I love Bud Dupree. I'm glad that he's silenced the haters of the last, his first couple seasons. Sometimes it just takes a little time. He's got to get his NFL body ready. He's got to figure it out. He's figured it out. TJ Watt is an absolute monster. He got robbed of Defensive Player of the Year last year. It was absolute nonsense. If they would have been 9-7 or 10-6, absolutely he wins that award. Devin Bush is going to get better in year 2. You got Hayden and Nelson out there on the corners. Mike Hilton in the slot. Cam Sutton coming in on the dime packages. I mean, there's just a lot to be excited about, man. When I was interviewing Cam Hayward, I was like, doesn't it feel good to have the Steelers be like a defensive team again, And he was kind of like, well, I always considered us a defensive team. And I was like, I mean, I know you can't really say anything else, but like last year this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? And that's great, man. We love that stuff. And what was about I feel like we're coming full circle with Big Ben's career. I feel like when he started, he had those killer defenses with Porter and Palomalu and Ike Taylor and James Ferrier, and he was a good NFL quarterback that made the right plays, did what it had to do to win. Then in the middle of his career, he became firepower, man, killer bees. He was a lethal quarterback, but the defense was a little shaky. Now we're coming to the end. We're coming full circle. Steelers defense is the Pittsburgh Steelers again. And Big Ben's going to bring just enough, make the right plays that unfortunately Duck, he's my friend, Duck and Mason and them just couldn't do. And we're going to come full circle, and it's going to be a thing of beauty.
That's – wow. I somehow never thought about that, but the realization that is the absolute truth is just now hitting me. Like, to have the defense at the beginning and at the end of your career and in the middle, that's where he had his best statistical seasons, but the defense just wasn't up to par. I think a lot of that, though – I think that the front seven wasn't even that bad. I think the issues were mainly in the secondary, and they've definitely got those addressed now. They've always had their struggles with drafting them. They realized, maybe we got to go outside the organization to fix these holes, and that's what they've done. Trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously, on the back end just last year. And then in free agency, that's where they've gotten the other things. They fell into Joe Hayden after being released by Cleveland, and Steven Nelson, who was a steal in free agency, where Kansas City fans, for some reason, don't think he's any good. He wasn't even bad there, but – he's obviously flourished in our system here. So it's just, wow, defensive teams at the beginning and end, but he had his best statistical seasons in the middle there.
Adam Shines of the world, what a twerp that guy is. I mean, like, this dude is, obviously, I didn't play college football or pro football or anything, but, how badly would that dude get beat up in a pickup game of football? He's the biggest twerp in the world, and all he wants is just Twitter, ratings and everything